Howdy everyone, it's me once again, the one and only Killer Dan. And today, as you can see, I'm returning to my Disney movie marathon, even though despite the fact it was not that long ago that I did one of these, of course. So I'm just trying to be frequent with these as often as I can because there's plenty to talk about. So, which means I'll talk about anything that's related to Disney, whether it's their movies, of course, TV shows, program, I don't know, whatever the case may be. If it's related to Disney, there's a good chance to talk about it. So, of course, there's going to be, again, Disney related, obviously. So, okay, to be a bit more specific here, just referring to the fact that people are obviously taking things out of context, which they often do, and just me countering whatever they're saying because whatever they're saying is just completely moronic, just completely brain dead, and just reacting on emotion rather than thinking about it logically when you think about it. So anyway, let's get to the damn point, I guess. So yeah, this right here, this one article where Peter Pan and Alice Wonderland in the books themselves have a trigger warning for white supremacy. What? Of course, it was written by this one individual, of course. So this is somewhat recent. So I just want to do this like real quick here, obviously, because it doesn't make any sense, really, like at all. Like I said, it's a kind of a recent article that I stumbled across here. So I just thought, okay, I guess this is something I'll talk about. Of course, anybody with a brainstem will realize that racism is wrong. Of course it is. Obviously. Anyone with the right mind would know that. This is the information age. If there's something you don't know about, go just read about it in a book or look it up online. There's like various different ways you can look up information. So, but to assume that these old books are racist is just completely moronic when you think about it. And don't get me wrong, folks, if Disney wants to show diversity, be my guest. You're going to show different cultures, showing women being strong and all that, sure, if they want to do that, go ahead. I'm fine with that. I'm not saying to not do that. Moreover, is that the article just jumped the gun because readers, according to the article, will be warned that classic stories for children may contain offensive examples of white supremacy. Which, of course, makes absolutely no sense, like at all. And mind you, these stories were written a long time ago. And that's one of the major problems with this is that you're looking through a modern lens. Was society different back then? Of course, society was different back then. Of course. And were they racist back then? Of course. Just because these books were written in an era that had a lot of racist people, that doesn't mean the books themselves are racist. I mean, they're still racist to this very day, unfortunately. There's still a ton of racists today, like right now. Does that mean the modern storytelling is racist? Absolutely not. So it just seems rather odd that these individuals, this person who wrote this article, just jumped the gun here. Apparently, this message is about colonizing other lands. That's in the stories here. Okay, what? I have the Alice's Adventures in Wonderland and Alice the Looking Glass. That's not in there, like at all. So there might be also things that may appear as quote unquote racist. Okay, that's it. Just Christ, are you okay? Yeah, again, none that's in there, like at all, whatsoever. You're kidding me? But it just continues on this supposedly evidence of this in the stories, which again, it does not appear here. I even have like a zombie version of the story. Again, it's not in there either. I've read these books, so where, where is it? I don't get it. So go on and just keep continuing forward, just to state that, like, as if it is possible, it is not likely that these could be. So, like, any reprints will have this content warning, this trigger content warning, or whatever you call it. These individuals just come off spineless when you think about it, like, as if to talk about some outdated language, some outdated sayings and whatnot. Of course, some of this may be outdated. This came out way back when. The way people talk now is not going to be the same way like it was back then. It doesn't make any sense whatsoever. And of course, we're going to talk about Disney's version because Disney has their own version of these stories, of course. That doesn't mean that Disney itself is racist, the company. I mean, like, what are you talking about? course, they want to make a reference to that one scene, the one infamous scene in the Peter Pan, this one right here, as if they were making fun of them. The Indians, I mean. Like, that's not what's going on whatsoever. They're not making fun of them. I'm just confused here. So it's just going to have this disclaimer to give anyone the warning, and just basically just goes on and on and on to say that it's just to prefer to say that it's wrong to place people in a certain category and challenge racism and is committed to fight against racism as a way to fight for equal rights for all races and whatnot. That's fine. I got nothing against that. But you do have to keep in mind that these stories were written in a different period of time, in a different society. Again, like I said earlier, that doesn't necessarily mean that in itself makes the stories themselves racist, of course. And like I said earlier as well, excuse me if I'm repeating myself, there's still racist people to this very day. So are you going to label every book nowadays as racist? You're going to say no. So why can't you give the same kind of benefit of the doubt to these books, to these stories? It's not like what Halo made his book, Mein Kampf, or what you say. That then, yes, you have a legit point. Then, yeah, I can see what you mean. But that's not the case here, like whatsoever. But it just comes off. Bottom line, it's stupid. It's completely moronic to think that that's the case here in some kind of way. Obviously, it's just them looking way too much into something that's not there, like at all. And it's just unfortunate people look too much into something and thinking that this somehow is the truth of the matter, which it isn't. But okay. I mean, yes, of course, you should have equality for anyone, regardless where you came from. It doesn't matter. Equal opportunity for everyone. Equal opportunity in the job market, in education, and so on and so forth. Having some kind of job is what you get the idea here. Or having some kind of entrepreneur partnership. You're going to start your own business, whether it be the cake business or maybe washing your car, what have you, whatever it is. You should have the right to start your own business if you choose to. And it's up to you. Oh, even freedom of expression, of course. If you want to write your own book, your own stories, you should have the right to express how you want it, obviously. Because, freedom of speech and all that jazz. No matter where because America is supposed to be a cesspool of bunch of people anyway to begin with. Because yes, I'll believe it or not, a lot of people from a lot of different countries of origin helped to make America. And from no matter where you're from, a lot of people joined in to make this country a wonderful country. Have it a big cesspool of different individuals, as it should be. So I don't get this perspective that somehow these books are racist. Peter Pan, Alice's Adventures in Wonderland, and Alice Through the Looking Glass. I'm separate like that because Alice was originally had more than one book. Is what I'm saying. Now in a bunch of collections, both Alice books were just in one book. I'm just throwing it out there. Speaking of which, anyway, like I said, I've read the Alice books. Not once ever heard anything like that, like whatsoever. I don't know. I don't get this. It just seems rather odd that this is the kind of thing that they would have the mindset on. I don't get it. It just seems rather odd that this is somehow accepted as a fact, which it shouldn't be, because I'm just trying to question a lot of this stuff here. It just doesn't make any sense. It's just, I don't know, it's just me complaining again, as I always do. I'm always seem to be ranting about something that's completely nonsensical. Oh, it's just always some dumb shit, basically. This is what I'm talking about. What? I don't get this. Yeah, I'm pro capitalist, of course. If you don't want to start your own business and if it's just too stressed for you, then just work for somebody else's business if you choose to. Anyway, that'll be it, folks. Again, if you choose to. So thanks for watching. See ya. And wasn't the film in Memories of Geisha being have the main character be played by a Chinese, even though she's supposed to be Japanese? I don't see you talking about that. So anyway, see ya. Thanks for watching. Later.